Hello and welcome to Coffee Break. My name is Michael Moret. You know, it's important that we pray. God says we are to pray always. And if you ever feel like you have a desire to pray, make sure you do it. My mom told me a story many, many years ago. This was long before I was born. She was home, being a housewife, and my dad and his older brother did some work. My dad was in the sign business, one-man sign shop, and his brother and my dad went up north in northern Wisconsin and did some sign work, and they took their fishing poles along, and after they got done with their work, they found a lake up there, and they went fishing. Now, this was probably March, so there was still some ice on the lake. You can imagine how cold the water was. Well, they were out in the middle of nowhere, really, on this lake, and their boat tipped over in this icy water. And they were in this water for, I don't know how long, hour? I believe that's what my mom said, an hour. And my brother, or my dad's brother, kept saying, I'm going to give up. I'm going to quit. And my dad said, no, don't quit. Just keep hanging on to. My dad would never quit at anything. He was not a quitter. And so he encouraged his brother to cling to the boat. And every once in a while they'd get up enough energy to scream for help. They were in big trouble. You can imagine they had all these heavy clothes on. They're in this ice water that is trying to pull them down. And they're screaming for help. And again, they're in the middle of nowhere. Along comes a guy who was taking a walk. And he didn't take his normal path. He decided that day to take a different path. And he heard my dad and his brother call out for help. Here's the thing. Back home, 80 miles away, my mom is doing her housework. All of a sudden, at the time that the boat capsized, my mom had a desire to pray for my dad. She knew something was wrong. She didn't know what it was. She just had this overwhelming desire, urge to pray for my dad. And so she did. And she prayed and she prayed and she prayed all afternoon. When my dad came home, my mom's first words to him were, "What happened?" And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why when you feel the urge to pray, don't ignore it. Pray. It's not the devil telling you to pray. It's not your sinful flesh telling you to pray. If you have an urge to pray for someone or something, that's God. Make sure you obey, because you never know what the consequences of not praying might be. I wouldn't be here if my mom had not prayed, because that was before I was born. I'm glad she did. Okay, until next time, Michael Moret for Coffee Break. So long, everyone.